Bad Ideas Production on location. Today we're going to talk about something I love just as much as writing, and that's music. I listen to music when I write. And before I even write, I do something called a writing playlist, right? So for each script, I make a playlist, and then when I write, I hear the playlist. Pretty simple. And that's something I feel every writer should do. Now look, music's objective, right? So it's really up to you to pick what songs you want and when when you want to specifically hear those music, or just keep them in rotation throughout the whole time. But I'm gonna give you some tips. So tip number one: the music doesn't always have to fit the tone of the film, but you have to. But sometimes that is an element I keep in mind when choosing the music, right? So for 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea, it's a more psychological drama. So the music at points can be a little more darker and a little more sadder than if I was making a romantic comedy, right? Tip number two: you have to think about when you write a film, it's a long process. So you have to make a lot of music because making a script takes what, 8 to 12 weeks, so 3 months. Tip number four: I try not to make I try not to put music that makes me want to sing to it when I write, because then I get distracted. So you want to pick music that has to do with so you want to pick music that every now and then you sing to it and it gets you distracted because it's a good little break, right? So for example, maybe you have like two songs that are really that really hone you into writing, and then you have a song that makes you sing, like Adele, right? Rolling in the Deep. So you want to add music that helps set a mood and enhances productivity and focus. Like I said, music's objective. That's up to you. Those are my tips. So now we're going to move on to actually creating the playlist. So I'm going to create the 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea playlist, because now that I finished the first draft, I'm going to get to the second draft. I'm going to be writing even more. And I actually didn't make a playlist for the first draft, so I'm going to correct that, and I'm going to make a playlist for this draft. Here are here are the albums that I'm going to choose the music from. Undertale official soundtrack, so I'm just going to say OST. It Follows OST, Delicious and Dungeon OST, Legend of Zelda Ocarina's Mask OST, The Witch OST, some Tyler Creator music, some Frank Ocean, some Nirvana, some Danny Elfman, some Kanye, Uzumaki, anime series OST, Nier Automata, the game OST, Lighthouse OST, and some 80s music. Now is the portion where I'm going to categorize the I'm going to put the music into categories, and then I'm going to fill in the songs into each category, and I'm going to have a playlist by the end of it. So the four categories are movie official soundtracks, video game official soundtracks, 80s music, and songs that catch a vibe. So movie OSTs are pretty simple, right? Soundtracks and scores that come from movies. So it's more scores than actual music that I got from albums. So for example, I wouldn't pick like Guardians of the Galaxy necessarily, because those are just music that James Gunn picked out to be in the movie. But I would pick like The Witch, had music made specifically for scenes in that movie. Same thing with video game OSTs. And 80s music is just music that from the 80s, because I just love 80s music. And songs that catch a vibe, that's self-explanatory. That's music that just, when you hear it, you don't really pay attention to the lyrics. It's just a nice little tone, nice little mood setter, and you still write and you don't sing to the music because it's just a vibe. So let's start with movie OSTs. I'm gonna get from a playlist. Movie OSTs, let's go with let's go with The Witch. So I'm actually gonna have to look this up on my phone, see what music I like from The Witch. I already have some music saved, luckily. So Witch Stole Sam and Witch Coven. It Follows. So the first one is called J. That's one of my favorite ones. That album is made by Disasterpiece, and the album Witch is made by Mark Corvin. And I also enjoy the last one, Linger. as well as inquiry. So we'll put that. Okay, now the other one is Danny Elfman, which he did Silver Linings Playbook. All right, so it's called Simple and Happy Ending. We went on to Uzumaki, which that one's easy. It's just one, and it's called Uzumaki. It's actually a show, but I'm gonna just put into this category, and it's Delition and Dungeon, and it's Thistle and Marcel. I love that anime. I just finished it. I just watched it. It's amazing. That is the movie official soundtrack category done. So now, starting with the video game OST, and I think it's just Legend of Zelda and Nier Automata. And if you haven't listened to those official soundtracks, you are missing out because they're beautiful. Especially Nier Automata. That's literally one of the best music I've just heard, period. So we're going to put, to be honest with you, you could just put the whole album and you'll be okay. And guess what? We're going to do the same thing with Legend of Zelda. And if you want other recommendations for video game official soundtracks, you could also listen to the Hotline Miami. Now, 80s for the next category. We're gonna put Eclipse of the Heart. That is a banger by Bonnie Tyler. Now, after that, let's put Running Up the Hill, made famous by the Stranger Things season 4 by Kate Bush. These I'm just coming up with my head right now. Let's put In Too Deep by Genesis. Phil Collins, amazing voice. Let's do, what's another 80s song? What's another 80s song I can think of? Oh, hold up. Okay, so I remember. So the last song we're going to do is the one from the Tom Cruise movie, Top Gun. Yeah, the Top Gun. So the last song we're gonna do for the 80s is Take My Breath Away. It's the main song from Top Gun from the 80s. Okay, so for the last one, it's songs that catch a vibe, easy peasy, mainly made up of Ty Creator, Frank Ocean, so such as DHL. We're gonna put What's Your Name. We're gonna put White Ferrari. You know what? We could put the whole Blonde album if you want. We could put Tyler Creator's Okara, California. I love that song. We could put, I just been hearing that Kendrick Lamar album. So we put Dodger Blue and Luther, which was amazing. And yeah, that makes up the last category for songs that catch a vibe. And that makes up the whole playlist. And just like that, I made a playlist for 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And some other tips before I end this video is I like to play specific music when I'm in specific parts of the script. So for example, when Women is going to go crazy, most likely I'm going to put something more eerie, such as The Witch or The Lighthouse, which I didn't mention on this, but I'm going to mention it. I'm going to put it right now after this video is done. Yeah, I say make a playlist. Thank you for watching. That is production.